We've got GB in Texas. Welcome. You had a question for me and or Mandisa.
Matt and Mandisa, man, my two favorite people on this show at the moment.
Sweet.
I'm really glad to talk to you guys. So my name is actually Sahin. I normally call under the name Sahin, but I wanted to put my Discord handle on here because I wanted to say thank you, Matt. Thank you so much. I know you didn't create the Atheist Experience, but you've undoubtedly contributed to the culture that it got to the point that it is, to the point where there's a Discord now where I have met some of the most amazing people and have encountered some of the best arguments that have really, made me think,
Well, I mean, let's thank the people that put the Discord together and skip past this to the actual point of the call, because nobody would want to watch a show where all people did was call up and talk about how awesome we are.
Okay, you're right. All right. Okay. All right. Spotlight's down. So the question was actually to a claim that you made earlier. If I remember correctly, I mean, if I'm quoting you correctly, you said that there is no topic more important than the discussion of God. Why would you make that claim? Why do you think that God is the most important discussion or the most important subject to be discussed?
What I tend to say is, if it's true, it's the most important fact that anybody could learn. And while I admit that there is a bias there towards Abrahamic religions or religions where there's some sort of soteriology, some sort of afterlife, that's where it comes from. If in fact there's a God that is a deistic God, okay, that's probably not the most important fact, because that's a fact you could never learn anyway. Deistic gods are non-demonstrable. They don't intervene in reality in a detectable way, so their existence is identical to non-existence. But where, for those propositions like Christianity and others, where there's a God that is expecting you to do something, and the disposition of your afterlife is based on what you do and don't accept, or how you act, nothing could be more important than that.
Do you have any thoughts on it?
Well, I think there is a basis for a discussion, because many people base what they consider their morals and actions around their belief in gods. If you look historically, there have been a number of acts, many of which have been atrocious, in the name of their gods. And there have been laws created. There have been, there has been so much actions that we can see that have been, implemented or enacted in the name of this God that has no basis in evidence, or that has not been proven demonstrably at this point. So it is a very important discussion about why people believe and what gods they believe in, and why they are making the decisions that they do, why they are indoctrinating their children into this belief, and why, why so many things occur as a result of that. So there are actually some, I wouldn't say just consequences, but there are actually things that have resulted from these beliefs. And so it is an important discussion that we must have.
Yeah, as long as people are voting and legislating on behalf of their belief in these gods, it becomes the most important thing. And when it is used as the underlying primary objection to countless political footballs, it's not just each one of those political footballs is going to be important, but considering how many of them, like, for example, abortion, trans rights,
Right.
etc., those things are deeply rooted in people's religious beliefs. So having the discussions about God and about belief in God, I can't think of anything could be much more important generally. But when you add in the notion that this life is finite, but they're claiming there's an afterlife which is infinite, then the discussion of that is infinitely more important than anything that could happen in this life, which is why the Bible says this life is like dirty rags.
Yeah. Guys, I mean, I don't want to take up any more of your time. You answered my question honestly, and that's all I will say, because, as a Christian, whenever I hear anything that advocates towards the discussion of God, I get excited. So thank you guys for your time, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for calling.